Greetings all! Today, we'll be examining the uncommon poison bug-type Pokemon Skorupi, the Scorpion Pokemon, and its rare poison dark-type evolution Drapion, the Ogre Scorpion Pokemon. While they might be seen as little more than a nuisance at a young age, the members of the Skorupi family can become terrifying monsters as adults that can more than prove to be a nightmare to handle.
Skorupi have pale and dark purple striped forms with a segmented abdomen and segmented tail, with a large pair of white grasping appendages on the end of their tail. They walk with 4 thin purple legs, while the front pair of limbs end in a single white claw each, the white mandibles being visible outside their mouth area as they look forward with large black eyes with blue sclera. The evolved form Drapion possess the same general body form, but with lighter violet and dark purple striped bodies that are much larger in size. In addition, the sclera of their eyes have turned white, and the base of their neck connects directly to the bases of their arms, which end in a pair of white claws, now with more white claws on their legs and blue core markings on the bulbous parts of their body.
Skorupi are fairly underpowered at a young age, and have little in the way of offensive strength or vitality, but they more than make up for this issue with patience and incredible endurance.
For one thing, Skorupi possess an extremely durable exoskeleton and are able to survive punishing physical blows that would cripple lesser creatures, which serves them well against the otherwise harsh life forms they share their environment with. More importantly, these creatures have very low metabolisms and are able to endure starvation for incredible lengths of time, sometimes as much as a year, without becoming weaker or losing what little vitality they have. This generally proves to be an extremely useful feature for the species, as the survival rates in the deserts they call home for more than a few years is usually quite low as a result of extreme predation by birds and other desert dwellings being able to handle the strong toxins seeping through their bodies.
Oddly enough, it seems that Skorupi have recently become a bit of a delicacy in the areas they call home, as their exoskeleton becomes very crispy and easy to peel off when thoroughly cooked. This has led to a further decline in the population numbers and an increase in human injuries and deaths, but it is unlikely that this practice will continue for much longer as a result of increasing death tolls among humans.
In contrast, although it takes them a long time to finally evolve from Skorupi, Drapion, known by some in the Galar region as the Sand Demon, are monstrous beasts that easily make most other desert-dwelling creatures seem like weaklings, as evolution grants these creatures a far sturdier exoskeleton that is both very difficult to penetrate with conventional attacks and surprisingly easy to maneuver around as a result of many small joints within the interior of their frame. Their combat abilities are heavily improved in evolution, and their capacity for carnage amplified immensely, rendering them a far larger threat to tackle in almost all cases.
Even so, they do retain the capacity to potentially shrug off critical hits with little issue, and can strike the weak points of their opponents with incredible power and precision, allowing them to possess the battle armor and sniper abilities as base abilities, while those that can focus more intently on opponents than normal and keep the vision from being distracted can also possess Keen Eye as a hidden ability.
In looking at their stats, it can be said that Drapion are not as powerful as some might imagine them to be, underperforming in many areas and not having a ton of raw power to show the world. On the other hand though, they can still hit decently hard with physical attacks, their base attack stat being above average for fully evolved poison type Pokemon, and they can take a decent beating in close quarters while moving around at deceptively high speeds, the base defense and speed stats being above average for fully evolved poison and dark type Pokemon, so they can at least put up a good fight when needed in that context. In order to capture prey with their otherwise weak offensive powers, Skorupi must hide and wait for small prey to come by them while buried just beneath the surface of the ground, oftentimes sharing territory with Pokemon like Sizzlipede. When a viable victim approaches them, Skorupi will quickly leap out of the hiding place and grab a hold of their prey with the special claw-like appendages at the end of their tails. Once they have a good grip on their prey, Skorupi will inject a lethal venom into the victim and then hold on tenaciously until the toxins in the venom finally take hold and kill the victim. This can unfortunately prove to be the end of Skorupi, however, as the tails are effectively their only source of livelihood and are nearly impossible to fully regenerate if detached or otherwise destroyed. Thankfully, Skorupi are more intelligent than they appear and have come to understand which kinds of targets are worth risking an attack on, so finding a suitable and safe meal is rarely an issue with the species. Eventually, Skorupi will be able to tackle nearly any type of prey unmatched, but this will unfortunately only come to light if they manage to survive long enough to evolve, which does not occur for some time as a result of their slow metabolism. Drapion have semi-elastic tissue connecting their arms to their body that allows them to stretch the limbs to about twice their normal length to strike prey and opponents alike from surprising distances. This likely wouldn't be so much of a problem if it were not for the fact that Drapion also possess tremendously sharp claws and are able to combine their elastic limbs with these claws efficiently to give them the physical strength needed to completely reduce a car into scrap metal. Moreover, the species possesses a fully rotatable joint in their exoskeleton near the base of their neck that allows them to rotate their heads a full 180 degrees without suffering any damage, in turn enabling them to completely eliminate any blind spots in battle.
This makes Drapion extremely dangerous to take on any day, but there is one further thing that makes them a dangerous contender in any battle: their type assignment.
The reason why is still unknown, but it appears that a chemical alteration within the brains of these creatures after evolution takes away their natural bug-type abilities and instead replaces them with an advanced control over anti-positive energy, in turn making them poison-dark types. The fact that this leaves them with only a natural weakness to ground-type attacks can make these titanic creatures a difficult customer to handle under most circumstances, though this also means that they are forced to keep a low profile in the wild by the likes of Wild Hippowdon, with whom they never pick a fight. Thankfully for most trainers, Drapion are extremely confident about their abilities and will rarely ever use their lethal venom in battle except to finish off a target, instead preferring to destroy their opponents with sheer brute strength alone. This can give experienced trainers the opportunity to defeat these beasts in battle before the strongest attacks come to light, but pressing an attack too aggressively will often enrage these beasts and lead them to go against their instincts. Under these conditions, Drapion will give little thought to personal space and will get right in the face of their opponent, using their venom-tipped claws to strike with devastating cross-poison attacks while finishing them off with attacks like Crunch and Poison Fang. Although Drapion are able to learn the powerful Fire Fang, Thunder Fang, and Ice Fang attacks, they will rarely ever deviate from this basic strategy, so it can be somewhat easy to predict and counter their actions in battle before they manage to even attack. This should be done with caution though, as Drapion are unmatched in their natural habitat and will attack both people and Pokemon that dare to cross their path, lending them a bad reputation among travelers that their ruthless behavior in combat will only enforce.
Though they might not initially appear to be a terrifying force to handle from stats alone, the members of the Skorupi family are vicious beasts that can make life hard for those that are unable to stand against their powerful toxins. You'll have to wait a while before you can make the most of their power, but the sheer versatility of moves at their disposal when fully evolved can nonetheless make them a notable threat to contend with without access to ground-type assaults.
Just do yourself a favor and try not to get in their way if you come across them in the middle of a desert. They might not look all that dangerous at first, but get too close to them in a fully evolved state, and you may find yourself in a bad situation that they decide to go Mortal Kombat on you and force you to literally get over to them, and right in the way of their horrendous claws and toxins.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Untitled, and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, the world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.